Hi there. I'm back on the lathe for a while, and I'm machining down this steel billet, and I have no idea what material it is. You can see there's a whole pile of rust on the outside. It's certainly not free cutting. But anyway, that's all I've got, so that's what I'm going to use. I've already started machining it down to close to its size, and I need to take a bit more off towards the chuck because the tool that I have in here, it has a 45-degree angle on it. I'll take this off and just show you what I did. This is an ordinary brazed. It's an ordinary brazed carbide tipped tool bit. It's I think it's 5/16 on the shank, and I don't know what grade it is. It's Chinese, and I've done a little bit of grinding on it to relieve the underneath of the chip, because there's too much material, mild steel backing on these tips, and you have to have a regrind the cutting faces because the rake is not enough, and you find that if you're taking a fairly big cut, that the shank itself, the mild steel shank that it's brazed onto, interferes with the cut. So if you can see that, I've chopped it away underneath, but on this little lathe there's no torque taking place on the tip other than the maximum resistance you can get from the motor. At the moment I've been taking a 1/10 cut, because if I can take a 20, but the motor gets so hot and then it switches off. It overloads and switches off. So I've had to stay with 1/10. I think if I had a bigger motor or more powerful motor, then I could take a 20 or 30 thou cut on this material. So what I did was I found that it was flat on top, and it was chattering. Even on a 1/10 thou cut, it was just chattering because there was no top rake. So I got a little diamond drill, again Chinese, put it in the Dremel, and it worked very well. As you can see, I've got a nice chip breaker on there, and that's made all the difference, from chattering down to taking a 20 thou cut with no chatter. So okay, that's that. Alright, okay, I got this thing running at just over 1220, 1220. But as soon as I take a cut, of course, it slows down. Okay, we'll take a 1/10 thou cut. It's down to 950 now, 930, 900. decent finish. And the chips are coming off nicely. This is just to let you see what I'm up to. This round piece here is eventually going to clamp to the front of the ram, and it's going to be indexed around probably 5 degrees. Yeah, 5 degrees increments around, from 0 at the top around, and that's where the vertical slide is going to go on the ram, and there'll be a hole in here for a locking bolt, and this will go up against the casting of the ram that I've left finished on the ram. So that's why I'm doing it this way. The job, I don't have the machinery to be able to take big cuts or make it easy, because on the small machine you don't have a lot of room for placing it on the table and such and so forth. So I have to do it in little bits and fabricate in some cases. It doesn't take long, doesn't take too long, taking 10 thou cuts. As you can see, the motor dropped right down to 800. I guess maybe the tool is getting a bit worn. When I get down to the smaller diameter, I'll take a 20 thou cut and see how that goes. Coming off in long streams now, so what I tend to do is to release my grip on the handle and stop the feed slightly, and that helps the break up these chips, and so instead of great big long spirals, it breaks the chips. $8.75 off the end. This is 20 thou. Come on. $700. It varies according to how I grip the hand wheel, which controls the feed as well. This vibration through the pinion. Okay, let's try 10, 20, 30 thou. See what takes place. $4.25. That's putting a load on the motor, and that's 300 and, 370, 316. It fluctuates because I'm controlling the feed with the hand wheel. If I held the hand wheel solid, it would get even worse. Wow, that's getting hot. You know, I can take a lighter cut just by gripping the hand wheel and allowing the hand wheel to slide through my finger. And so that's one of the reasons why I say that maintain that there's nothing wrong with the spring attachment. There's a short spring on the end of the lead screw at this end, up at this end, and the more pressure that is applied on the lead screw, the spring is taking up some of the force, and so people were saying in some of the groups that they put these universal joints on there because they were holding the wheel tight, and the tool bit was jerking in as the spring moved and got to a certain tension on the spring. The tool bit would then jerk forward, and if they're going to use the same setup that they've got before they put the universal joint on, they're going to get the same problem. That's my theory. You can control the feed to a certain extent just by the grip that you have on the handle, and you still get a feed. It may take a little bit longer to get to the end of its run or its pass, but it doesn't stall the motor or jerk the tool bit into the material all of a sudden. So for anybody that's interested in that information, that's what I figure anyway. Okay, I've got to be just under 2 inches. I'm pretty close now, I think. 80 thou. Okay, I'm going to cool off now, and here's the chips that are coming off. Not ideal, still a bit stringy, but certainly a lot better than it was with a zero top brake. So these tools, I guess they're okay, but you have to do a little bit of fiddling with them to get them to cut decently. Okay, thanks.